today. And we'd like to jump right towards our next panel of the day, which is remaining relevant in transformative artificial intelligence times. We are talking extensively about artificial intelligence, AI, right now, because as you know, the world's kind of revolve around developing it right now, and it's going to be another very exciting panel discussion. So let's begin by extending a warm welcome to our moderator. He is the Programming and Development Director of Metro TV Media Group Networks, and once upon a time was also my dosen, yeah, at that time. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause, Pak Arief Suditomo. Welcome to our moderator, and ladies and gentlemen, for this session as well, please join me in giving a warm welcome to our speakers, Chief Executive Officer, GroupM Southeast Asia, Mr. Himanshu Shekhar. And also, please put your hands together for the Managing Director of Emtek and CEO of SCM, Emtek SCM, Pak Sutanto Hartono. And also joining us this afternoon as Chief Business Development Officer, GDP Venture, please welcome Pak Dani Wirianto. All right, so we have all of our speakers here with us. So Pak Arief, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And we've been hearing a lot of inspirational speech, some lesson learned, some experience, and some journey that a lot of speakers have been telling us. And remaining relevant is something that's very, very important these days, especially when we want to talk about implementing AI in our business. So remaining relevant in transformative artificial intelligence times is the topic that we are about to discuss. And this morning, we are having this distinguished gentleman whose experience, journey, and their lesson learned are extremely worthy to share. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Himanshu Shekhar, Pak Sutanto Hartono, and Pak Dani Wirianto. And allow me to ask Pak Dani Wirianto first about remaining relevant,
Sure.
especially about timing, because timing is the most important in how we implement AI in our business, and especially when you choose which investment that you're going to do. Do you think that there is some business that needs to implement AI as soon as possible right now, or is there some business that actually can delay the implementation into a specific time frame?
Okay. Obviously, in terms of AI, AI is, I think, like everybody, like in the panelists and the speaker earlier mentioned about how important is the data. I always believe that AI without data, it's gonna be just a dumb person, without knowledge. And in terms of timing, for us, we've been investing AI since 5 years ago. It's part of my job as a CBO, a Chief Business Officer, is to identify what's gonna coming up for the next 5-7 years. New economy will arise. So we've been trying to invest in earlies so we don't get fried. As an investor, you want to invest early and you can sell at a higher price. Now, in terms of the business, for some of you have agency, some of you have brand, some of you probably have media. It all depends on your stage of your company. Again, the readiness of employee to get the AI, that need to be very, very, very highly disciplined and required. The challenge, when earlier like Bu Ira mentioned about collecting data, but without like analysis, it basically is useless, right? It gonna give you a misinterpretation of new data or like new action that will be actually jeopardize your company. So therefore, AI will have to be fitted to the need of the company at that moment. If you're an investor, of course you should invest AI from a long time ago, like 7 years ago. If you invest now, you get fried. Kalau bahasa Indonesia ini namanya digoreng, coy. Gitu loh, Pak.
Thank you, Pak Dhani. Pak Tanto, so do you think that every business has to implement AI as soon as possible, or there is something that can delay the implementation with specific time frame?
I agree with Pak Dhani, because this is like the fundamental shift of the way we do things. I don't think that we have the luxury to delay. But you're absolutely right. The adoption may differ from one industry to another, and even within the same industry, let's say in our media. One of the core basic is the creativity, right? And then perhaps creativity will be the most difficult one to replace, right? But as we have been talking the whole day, it's about data. So anything that has to do with data is clearly something that can be replicable by AI. So that's an area that I think, depending on where we are, and then we have to decide how fast the adoption, but clearly no matter what we are, we need to be prepared for the future, as Pak Dhani is saying.
Yes, the same question to you, sir. Is there any business that needs to implement this right away, or is there anything that can delay?
Thank you. I think very important question, but in my mind, this is not a future tense. It's a present, and in many cases, it's the past. Many of you here have probably Apple Watch or a Samsung Watch. We capture our heart rate. When we run, we capture how many steps we have taken, how many minutes we have taken. Similarly, we watch Netflix or Tanto's video, a recommendation that comes there. There is some bit of AI there. So no part of our life today is untouched by AI in some form or another. And all of us are benefiting. Sometimes we don't even know that we're using AI. And I'll take the recent example of ASO, analog switched off in Indonesia. Most people had a digital TV at home without knowing they have a digital TV. Right? That's why AI is, to my mind, not future. It is present already. And if we are not using it, or not using with the speed that is required, we will be left behind.
So for you, it's now or never. Okay, Pak Dhani, can you share with us about your transformation journey implementing AI in your business or your client's business?
Well, it's expensive, for sure. I mean, capturing data, I mean, for example, I mean, like there's a lot of Facebook people, TikTok, and like Google. They got lucky because they have so many engineering, there's so many smart people. They've been like thinking about it and like applying AI, and also like capturing data. So the problem with us in the beginning is like, we have data, but the problem is all the data is different. Different name, different like labeling, different tagging, different everything. So basically like our job first, like about 7 years ago, is to making sure it's same language, same measurement, same basically like anything that like we can singularize categorize as one thing, and like so we are GDP been investing in media too. So our media, first of all, we have data of our audience. So we know like people like going to Kumparan, go to e-commerce, and go to other else. So we can track that and we can create the behaviors of categorize, this guy is so-and-so a traveler. you know. And those capturing the data, it take time, it take money. At least for us, we spend about $500,000 or $1 million a year for just capturing the data. So, and once we capture the data, after 2 years we accumulated the data, we have come up with a new challenge called the operator. Who the hell is understand this data, correct? And is it gonna be used or not? That's another question. And so there's a lot of commitment, that's what I say, from the CEO level to like all the companies. We have a multiple company. We invest about 200 more companies in around the world. So like all those companies commit or not with our vision. And that will become the big challenge. I think like Unilever, Emtek, for example, has so many media, so many companies, and all of them speaking in different language. And that's the big issue right now. And Indonesia is not advanced as like Silicon Valley or maybe Korea or like other company. We're like more behind. But like in terms of the data capturing is important. That's why we invest a lot in data labeling. I mean, we invest in a company, it's called Datasaur. They're like focusing on labeling, tagging, item, object. So AI machine can understand this is a glass.
Okay.
Because AI cannot understand this is a glass. There's a glass, but there's like, what kind of glass is this? So somebody need to label it. So we invest on those companies. Is it useful? Yeah. Because all this AI machine gonna need an input. So that's why we play on the back end side, not the front end side.
Yeah. So, Sutanto, how do you start the transformation plan? Which department or which people or which sector that you try to prioritize first in implementing this artificial intelligence? Please share us
Honestly,
your...
we don't have like a specific blueprint, you know. So we use like a pragmatic approach because clearly AI now is becoming like a white box solution. So we don't want to be kelinci percobaan. We don't want to be like the one that do all the trial and error and then costly experience. So we identify solution that already happen out there, and we try to pick and choose whatever that is practical. And of course, the first part, the journey started from the cost efficiency. And I think it's very relevant from all of us here, right? With the winter tech that now we are demanded to be bottom line driven. So anything that we can save cost will be something that will be good. So I'll just give you a few examples here. So one on the left is basically subtitling. So it may sound to be simple, but you imagine a good example is when we license Indian series, right? The good thing about Indian series is that per episode, the license tend to be cheap. But the problem with Indian series, one title is like hundreds, if not thousands of episodes. So the biggest cost is actually not the licensing, but it's actually the subtitling or the dubbing. So this, all of a sudden, it will make this automated, much cheaper, right? And then thanks to Netflix also, now we are used to watch a foreign content with like a subtitle or dubbing. So this is another experimentation, one business model that is quite interesting about animation. Now in the past, the biggest challenge about animation is how can we bring it outside of Indonesia. Now there are cases where we can then upload the same content actually in different market, and if you upload it in different market, you actually can get a higher CPM, right? But the way to do that, you have to localize by subtitling. So this clearly will enable us to introduce our content at the way cheaper across the globe. And then clearly like highlights, we produce like hundreds of live events every week in video. So not just the live matches, but it's very important for the highlights. So that's something that we can produce immediately, very accurately. And what's interesting, we're also doing in our publishing, liputan6.com as well as merdeka.com and the gang. We use AI to produce the content. One thing that I like to share here interestingly is that the AI generated content apparently can deliver 58% uplift on the pages per visit. So that is quite interesting and quite promising. So that's something that we like to do. And then finally on the TV side, so again, we are also experimenting about how to bring like the virtual element. So people don't have to be on our studio. So clearly that will make it much more efficient to bring the politician or the celebrity that are difficult to be visiting the studio. And then basically we also even replicate our own host here to be able to come up with something. So let's see a quick click on this.
Special Hood Liputan 6 SCTV ke-27 hadir siang ini bersama saya, Skolastika Sylvia. Nah, yang ini versi Artificial Intelligence, aslinya saya.
Kami akan menemani siang Anda dengan beragam informasi aktual, tajam, dan terpercaya.
Kita pantau langsung bersama reporter Liputan 6 SCTV. Bagaimana stok bahan pokok saat ini?
Anda masih menyaksikan Liputan 6 spesial bersama saya, Sandiaga Salahuddin Uno, Menteri Pariwisata dan Ekonomi Kreatif Republik Indonesia yang hadir melalui teknologi Artificial Intelligence.
Anda menyaksikan Liputan 6 siang spesial bersama saya, Ganjar Pranowo, yang hadir melalui hologram.
Saya Skolastika Sylvia, hologram, versi AI, dan yang...
Okay, I have to wait until completion because otherwise I will be accused of promoting one presidential candidate only. All right, so that's one quick thing, and then just another quick example is, okay, can we go to the second page? Okay, so I think what's interesting here is the, okay, advertising, right? So we also would like to introduce the contextual targeting, I think, yeah, which is the most relevant here on the right? So when there is a scene happening, let's say in video, a people that is calling, right? So then we identify it's about calling, so then we will bring up advertising of mobile devices. And then let's say when they are eating, then they will pop up, let's say, GrabFood advertising. So we believe that this relevancy in terms of what is happening on the scene with the product that is being displayed will also improve the conversion of people that is consuming that. So clearly all of these tools now becomes automated. In the past it was manually, somebody needs to monitor and then click play and so on. So that's something that clearly will boost up not just productivity, but hoping also improving the conversion, which is good for monetization also.
Thank you, Pak Tanto. Pak Himanshu, as a global company, how do you accelerate the digital transformation, especially here in Indonesia, in this region? Because it might be different in India or in Europe, but please share your transformation journey, especially here in Indonesia.
You know, Indonesia is really running ahead on this transformation journey, and I'll build on to the point that he made. Imagine on this content, you still have brand ambassadors or an artist. Because of the AI, now they can be AI-generated characters. You know, we have a lot of people here who are in the area of influencer marketing, live streaming, social commerce. On live streaming, we are now having AI-generated characters. So the harder part of a repetitive job at any aspect, be it a creative or be analytical, are getting impacted by the AI. And a lot of technology development is happening in that part. Padani was saying, there is a large number of talent and investment funding some of those capability, which will impact broadcaster, publishers, marketers, and all form of say. So let's take two examples. Last year, Cadbury used the voice cloning technique to expand and personalize a brand ambassador called Shah Rukh Khan across different parts of India. This year, Blibli, Kiki was speaking in the morning, you had one brand ambassador, different geography, different messaging. All that was very difficult to execute earlier. But today it's now happening seamlessly. We don't even mention them in the passing. Right? So on a creative aspect, we are seeing artists now getting complemented or supplemented by the AI-generated techniques, voice to text and text to voice. Both of them are happening in a big way. And at a simplest level, at a management of a team and all of portions, we used to have earlier battery of people analyzing large chunk of data, submitting report, and sometimes you have to follow up. Now you don't have to do anything. Every day, if you put a bot in the system, every day, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, you will get your report without any prompting you. So our marketing practice has been impacted, our organizational management has been impacted, our personal development has been impacted. All of them are happening at a speed which earlier we used to, it was unimaginable, but also it is keeping us ahead of our own limitation.
So, there is one thing that tickles me a lot, especially about the fact that we've been all exposed that the market share of mainstream media is now facing a great challenge from the digital platforms and digital media. So what do you think? Share us your insights, share us your forecast about what kind of benefits that AI might give to the Indonesian mainstream media, especially television, in implementing AI and improve their market share.
This is for me. I think Sutanto spoke about how AI is helping management of the content because of the low cost of a translation. See, it is no secret, and we are now running in a continuum where digital medium has become mainstream and are sort of complementing now the large format broadcasting businesses. We all have got used to this. It's irreversible, and the roles of mediums are undergoing a change. People are now consuming content when they want to, on the device that is available to them at that point of time. And that's going to continue in portions. Money will follow. Marketers are always looking to reach out to consumer in an engaging format. And wherever we have a large number of consumer or opportunity to reach consumer, we'll go there. So it means we will now see a gradual challenge to market share of the traditional media in some form or another. Innovation on those platforms will delay, but it won't deny. So the Indonesian broadcasting business is extremely vibrant. It's also very solid. And I think compared to any other country, there are 3-4 countries in the world where the broadcasting still is very, very vibrant. And in my mind, that will continue for some time. No medium ever dies. What will happen? That the market share of those mediums will undergo a massive shift. As we speak today, we are already below 50% of the ADX on the broadcasting. You will find a gradual erosion of the market share, but it will not go down and become irrelevant. So that's why our language today has evolved. See, we don't talk about TV any longer. We say video. We look at the video advertising, video communication. We don't just say advertising, we say content as well. The entire evolution of the content ecosystem or the content creation or the creative economy, all of them are now driving and becoming part of the marketing ecosystem, right? And AI has underpinned all of them because it was humanly extremely difficult and labor intensive to manage all of them in an affordable manner. So we are currently witnessing a gradual shift in this portion, and it will continue. And Ashu is sitting here, he has used a term called, we live in a time of a constant beta. So this constant beta is happening on broadcasting, it is happening on our AI, it's happening on how we manage our marketing, advertising, and a content ecosystem. And this constant beta ecosystem and orientation also helps us being ready for these shifts. And to my mind, that readiness is the extremely critical part for all of us in the industry.
Fantastic. Sutanto, how do you share his explanation about improving market share, especially for you as a media executive of a big broadcasting group? So how do you share?
Well, I think we need to focus what does broadcast mean, right? So to us, we do not define it as only as a platform. Actually, it has the benefit because as a platform, it's the cheapest way to reach out to the mass market in Indonesia. So especially Indonesia where it has 17,000 islands. So that alone will continue to be like the benefit that we can enjoy for many years to come. But the other way is actually going back about the content production. So people sometimes forget, if you look at the digital economy, right? a lot of the digital, the platform doesn't want to invest on the content. So let's say YouTube, TikTok, whatever, it's the content owner that have to invest on those content. So broadcast is actually one of the business model where we invest on the content. So that's why we are willing to spend more money on the budget, on the production content. So therefore we can create a better content. So how to put this together? So I agree with Himanshu. We use the digital to create the excitement, but we still bring back as the totality of the content ecosystem. So let me play you very quickly an example, how we can bring that excitement in the digital, but it still brings back to the credibility. And when it comes to credibility, we believe that as a broadcaster, we can offer much better credibility compared to any other platform. So let's play this one clip here to give you how AI can play to create the excitement, and then we bring it back to our ecosystem.
Saya divonis 20 tahun penjara karena terbukti meracuni sahabat saya, Mirna. Kasus saya sangat heboh karena motif pembunuhannya baru pakai racun cyanida. Nama saya Jessica Kumala Wongso. Begini kronologi kasus saya berdasarkan detik.com. 6 Januari 2016.
Okay.
Saya.
So that's an example, right? So people will say, well, what is this? So, by the way, this already has 5 million views on TikTok, right? So this is an idea that people would like to learn it further, and that's where the credibility of our news can bring it further in terms of keeping the discussion on. So that's one example on how to cross-platform.
Okay. I've been given some signals that our allocated time is about to finish, but this is the last round. So I'm expecting everyone here to share what kind of the toughest episodes that you face when what the toughest episode you encounter when you try to implement or during the process implementing the AI in your business, and how do you deal with that? What kind of approach that you're having? And please share the words of encouragement to those who wants to start implementing AI in their business.
I think it's the hurdle, the biggest hurdle, and I mean we face like so many different companies that from e-commerce, OTA, media to different things, but all bottom line is same, is the open mind of the person, the curiosity of the person to learn the new tools. AI is the tools, guys. It's like Photoshop, it's like color draw, it's like, something that make it faster, like either facial recognition in your phone, either like a recommendation in the e-commerce or in media, either like a text, warp to like change the headline. All of those is the tools to use, but again, it depends on our employee to use it. And that's the biggest hurdle to push people, because unfortunately, AI is like a dark room. Okay, everybody's scared of dark room. Nobody want to open the door, or nobody want to get, oh my God, I got more works. Or I have to learn things. And is the biggest hurdle. I mean, money, you can find it. Motivation, open mind, curiosity, that's like given within each personal people. I can give you the best tools, but you cannot use it, it's useless.
Do you consider yourself have quite success in overcoming it?
Hell no. I mean, it's on progress right now. It just keep going and keep going. I mean, like, I can lie to you, all of you, like, oh, we are like good, we're the advanced. No, the fact is like AI require a commitment. AI require a discipline of your employee, because the operator is the most important part.
I think if I can add, right, the things that makes it even more complicated is not just about resistance to change or adopting something new, but as we can witness today, right, it can easily threat the job itself. So how can people believe that they have to embrace and then feel confident that this technology will not replace their job? I think that's going to make it even more complicated as a challenge.
So is that Emtek stories about facing the toughest episode and how you deal with that?
Honestly, I don't think the realization is at the moment at the level that is full. Okay. I think people start to think about it, but they have not really sink in fully. Yeah, so more journeys to come.
Good luck for you, sir.
Most boss, they want it now or yesterday. They're gonna say like, oh, later on.
As was stated by the GroupM.
Timing-wise.
Okay, what is GroupM stories and how you deal with this?
You know, marketing ecosystem is very young in most markets, and especially so in Indonesia. Any change management gets impacted by this one. So for example, in GroupM's average age is about 26, 27. If you take out people like me, it will go down further. So drive the changes, it's actually bottom up. I have now encountered people who join us fresh, half of them are doing Python courses. So I'm sure sooner or later we will not just have media planner, we will have media engineers who are writing codes, who are writing using prompts to do content creation, who was doing this to manage things differently. So I think all of us who work in this economy understand the value of this one and irreversibility of the challenge. Organizations take longer and shorter depending on the criticality of the challenge. We are a knowledge organization, people-centric organization, so it's a relatively faster and easier. But for a company so more asset-heavy, it will take a longer.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. Fantastic. And then I do hope that everyone here is having a good experience. You might be able to take some notes and listen to some lesson learned that everyone here is exposing to you all. And once again, thank you so much. Big round of applause to this distinguished gentleman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, panel. We would like to take the time to take pictures with everyone, of course. Once again, thank you, Bapak Arief, Mr. Shekhar, Pak Sutanto, dan Pak Dani for such an insight